Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me. My name is Shannon. If you are new, welcome. So I teach everyone how to implement math expressions. I don't work for the publisher. I work independently with teachers just like you in classrooms all over the nation to help implement best instructional practices with teachers who also happen to use math expressions. And we're talking about quick practice and daily routines. So we're going back to the basics. We're talking about the things that you need to know, where to find them, how to find them. We've had lots of questions in the group about that. I know we have tons of new friends to math expressions. So we want to make sure you have all of the details to be successful with the daily routines and the quick practices. So the first thing is I want to show you where you're going to find them. So you can find them, of course, in Think Central. I'm going to look, though, at the teacher's guide specifically. It doesn't matter which copyright of expressions you use. You're going to find them all in generally the same place. It's just where it describes how to do them that's going to feel or look differently. So, for example, if I'm right here, it looks like I'm in first grade, Unit 1, Lesson 5. On my front page of the first day at a glance, for every single day, you're going to see them listed. Now, quick practice is for everybody, right? This is kindergarten through sixth grade has quick practice every day for 5 minutes. Keep in mind that quick practice, the intention of quick practice is to build fluency and automaticity with the things that you've already taught. Okay, so we've already taught, like, for example, they're doing count 1 to 10 on the number parade and the 5 crows in a row. That's what that little description just says. So means we've already taught 5 crows in a row. We've already taught students about a 5 group and extras. We've already taught them about numbers 1 through 10, identifying and number fingers, like putting up the number of fingers for each number. So this means, but we know that our first graders aren't automatic with that skill. So we're going to put it in the quick practice. Okay, so that's what it says for quick practice. Then daily routines is for kindergarten through second grade. This is only for kinder through second, or if you're in TK, it's for you too, if you're in the preschool program. And that's 10 minutes every day. And the intention of that is place value, number sense, counting, all of those things that we just don't really do in a regular lesson that students need a lot of repetition with. So all of that basic number sense happens in the daily routines. Okay, so you're going to look right here. Now, every single thing, let's see if I can increase this for you. Every single thing that it says here, you're going to do every single day that it says it. So for first grade, it says, hey, you need to do both of these, count 1 to 10 and 5 crows in a row. You have to do both of them within the 5-minute period. Then it says daily routines. You're going to use the 120 chart and you're using the flip chart. You're doing both of these things with the secret code cards every day that it tells you. Okay, so if you're in the 2018 copyright, you're now going to go backwards in the teacher's guide before these lessons at the beginning of the unit, and there are pages that say daily routines and quick practices. Now, if you are in 2013 copyright, so a lot of you are in the state of Washington. If you are in the 2015 copyright, a lot of you are in the state of California. Okay, those copyrights have old quick practice and daily routines. It's the same idea, the same purpose, but they were rewritten for the 2018. Which means Dr. Fusen wants you to go use the 2018 version, even if you're not in the 2018, right? So we want you to use the updated quick practices and daily routines. Trust me, you'll like them more. They're more rigorous. They're less repetitive in terms of counting every day. They're the same, no matter who you are. If you're in kindergarten did not change, but the other grades did. So that's why we want you to go and grab our slide decks and go look at my YouTube videos, because it doesn't say the same thing in your teacher's guide if you're 2013 or 2015, right? So they're going to describe things a little bit differently. But in the 2018, which is what most of you are using, then you're going to see these pages in the front of your teacher's guide, or the front of this unit, I should say, that tell you exactly what it means. So in the lesson, when it said, hey guys, use the 120 poster and do the counting tens in one routine, you're like, what the heck is that? It tells you right here. Okay, so it tells you what to do, how to finger flash. It tells you how to use the counting tens and ones flip chart and the secret code cards. It tells you it all. Then you keep going and it's like, oh, hey, look, here's the quick practice. So remember, it said count to 1 to 10 on the number line and do 5 crows in a row. They're listed here, and it tells you for which days you're going to do that. and then it gives you the teacher directions. Now, that's everything you need. That's what you're going to do. But then you read it and you're like, what? Like, I don't really get what I'm supposed to do. Okay. So that's so typical. If you're like me, I need to see someone else do it. So we've helped you out here and we've done two things. So we're giving you in the challenge, but we're giving you everything you need in one place, right? So you're going to get something like this when you get the workbook. So if you're in kindergarten, we're going to say, okay, for this unit, here's what you're going to do. Here's when you're going to do it. Here's the video, click this, and I'm going to show you how to do that quick practice or daily routine. Then here's all the tools you need and the links to the Google Slides. Now, some of you got Google Slides way before. So remember that during COVID, I worked with Dr. Fusen, the author of Expressions, and we created a lot of digital tools for you to use with your students on Zoom and digitally. Quick practice and daily routines were one of them. We're like, we have to be able to do these virtually. How are we going to do that? So actually it was Dr. Karen Fusen and Robin Decker worked together to create those slide decks. I helped on Jamboards and some other resources that weren't quick practice. So those are the quote unquote old slides that everyone has access to that are free. Anyone can use them. Because so much of this needs to be visual. Now, if you're in like grades 3, 4, it's like write all these equations on the board and now do the quick practice. And it was the writing all the equations on the board that was deterring people from doing them because it took too long and it was kind of annoying. Whereas now they're on slides. So all you do is show that slide and you follow the directions on the slide. Like it's that simple. You just do what's there. Okay. So K1, 2, they're a little different because there's requiring something like the 120 chart and it's requiring the money flip chart and it's requiring things like your secret code cards, like the demonstration ones, or maybe it's requiring your giant yellow cards. Okay, so for most of those grades, so for our younger grades, I still use the real tools. I use the slides because I just tend to teach from slides. So it just tells me the next thing to do, but I'm actually bringing these out. I still have the kids on the carpet with me, but I'm using the real things. So I'm using the real 120 chart because it's accessible for my student leaders. It's easier to touch and see. So you decide, okay, you can either use the slide decks because it's bigger, it's more visual. A lot of people like to follow that, or just use them to know like what comes next and what to do. But through this challenge, we're giving you access to all of our Math Genius Squad slides. So the free ones that Dr. Fusen and Robin Decker made are lovely, wonderful. They have scripts on them, okay, etc. If you want the updated ones, we've just made them a little cuter. We've branded them different, like kindergarten, we have little animals on them because they're supposed to be making sounds, you know, that whole thing. We're giving those to you, even if you're not a member of the squad, for quick practice daily routines, just for the challenge for Unit 1. So that's why you want to sign up for it because you get just the better slides. Now, again, if you have the old ones, just keep using them. There's nothing wrong with them at all, and they're going to work just fine for you. You just need to decide what you do. Like if you're going to use the actual materials, if you're just going to write them up on your board because you don't want to deal with the slides, or if you're going to use the slides. Okay, you decide, but what I just showed you was where to find them in the teacher's guide, okay, where the directions were at. And then I showed you that if you're in the challenge, we're going to give you a document that looks like this so that you can see everything you need, click on them, English slides, Spanish slides, here's all the materials. If they're like, use the giant number card, you're like, what the heck are those? Okay, we gave you an image of them. And then any directions we've also given to you, right? So that's the basics. Now, what we add to that is we say, now you have to do that with student leaders. Okay, so the student leader portion, there's 5 core structures of math expressions. There's quick practice daily routines. That's structure number 1. Structure number 2 is student leaders. So student leaders are a significant part of a math expressions room where we want all kids to be both teachers and leaders. This is their opportunity to do that. Most of our kids are always the helped. They're not the helper. So if you're a student that struggles in math, you know it. There's no secret about it. And you know that you're never chosen to be the leader or to be the helper because you're always that helped. This is the time where the student leader doesn't have to know any of the answers because the student leader is just asking the questions. They're leading students through the routine, okay, or through the quick practice. So if I were to show you just a quick example, because I know some people are still like, I don't get it. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Okay, so let's look at that quick practice for kindergarten. So I'll do a kindergarten and then I'll do like an upper grade or first grade. This is first grade. I'll show you that. And then I'll show you like an intermediate. Okay, so we're giving you these slides. Okay, we're giving you slides that are going to help you with your student leaders and your class, just norming them, what they're supposed to do. But then you're going to get slides like this where it's like, okay, I just want you to count from 1 to 10, and I want you to count slowly. Then I want you to count with your fingers, and then I want you to count quickly. And the script is right here. So I might call up little Sabrina and I say, okay, Sabrina, you're my student leader. I show them the number parade, or I have my physical one up in my room. Okay. And I say, everyone count with me. I give her a pointer and she says, class, count with me. 1, 2, 3. We're literally just counting. And then she'll say, okay, now do it with fingers. 1, 2. Sabrina doesn't know to say that. I'm telling her that. I'm like, Sabrina, say, class, count with your fingers. And I'm helping her manage the class. I'm like, do you see everyone counting with their fingers? Say, class, try again. Okay, I'm showing it. I get through it. It's done. Then we get to 5 crows in a row. These are the slides I'm giving you from the squad. But honestly, this one in first grade is just the kids standing up there. And I'll say, okay, I'm my turn first. Then Sabrina, it's your turn. I'm going to put up 5 fingers and the whole class is going to say 5 crows in a row. And you're all going to say 5 crows in a row. Then I'm going to put a number of fingers down here. You're going to look at that. And when I put the fingers together, you're going to say the answer. So we'll say 5 crows in a row. Repeat. 5 crows in a row, below,
Sorry,
class, and then we put our fingers together, 7, 5 crows in a row, 1 below, class, 6. We're working on that 5 group. Sabrina, ready? And Sabrina, like, okay, Sabrina, show them 5. And she goes this, and I said the whole class, 5 crows in a row. I said, Sabrina, choose some fingers. She puts one here. I said, now put them together. And everyone says 1 below. She puts them together. Everyone says 6. I'm like, keep going, Sabrina. And she's the one that does it. I'm coaching her to get through it. Okay, so she uses a pointer when I'm showing something I want kids to read or I want kids to count. And then I let her start to take over. They're not good at it in the beginning. So I'm going to do a lot of coaching, right? But they can be good at it if they get the right coaching and they get enough time to get good at it. So that's all I'm going to do. Now that's quick practice. You have another slide deck for daily routines. It's the counting, it's finger flashing. Okay. It's all these things that are getting them proficient with number. So let me show you just very quickly if I were to go to like a 4th grade example. Okay, 4th grade is working in unit 1 on variables and getting the variable by itself and solving for the unknown. It's because they're going to do a lot of story problems where they're having to use the inverse operation to find a variable. So we're going to practice that with just equations during the quick practice. Okay, so here's the 4th grade. It looks something like this. And they're going to do the same thing. They're in a norm their class, and then it tells them to project this. Okay, so these are the ones that we have you projecting. You can write your own equations. You can do whatever you want, but we just have them ready for you. Now, the student leader says, I will say and point to an equation. Okay, when I give the signal, say the value of the unknown. Ready? So I've got little Eduardo up here. I said, Eduardo, I go first. Everyone ready? Read the equation with me. 9 equals 4 plus E. Think about it. Thumbs up when you know. I'm telling Eduardo, I'm looking for most of the thumbs up. When I see that most kids have the thumbs up, I'm going to say class, and the class is going to say E equals, and they're going to give us their answer. Now, you just heard me say that, but I was saying it to Eduardo. So they know what to do because they've heard me coach Eduardo. So I'm like, do you see everyone? Most kids have thumbs up. I'm going to say class, give them a signal, and the whole class would say equals 5. Eduardo, your turn. And he's like, what? I'm like, you're ready for it. Give him the pointer. I say, class, read it with me. Class, read it with me. Equals 7 plus 13. Say, think about it. Think about it. Say thumbs up when you know. Thumbs up when you know. Look for most of the thumbs, Eduardo, right? I'm coaching him through the whole thing. Then we just start picking up the pace. Once he gets it, read it with me. 13 equals 18 minus F. Think about it. Class, F equals 5. Class, read it with me. 8 equals Q minus 3, right? You start to get it. We're keeping the pace up so I don't lose my class, right? That's a quick practice. So no matter what grade you're teaching, the goal is to get them automatic with these skills. There's not enough time in the class or in the workbook or whatever to get as much repetition as many of our students need. It's choral response. It's timed. Set a timer so you don't overteach it. And there's no like writing things down or in a notebook. Like it's all mental math choral. Okay. All right. So put something you just heard that you have not been doing, you're going to try, or something you learned you didn't know. Okay, so post that in the comments. I want to hear it right now. So put something there. When we're in our challenge, and you're going to get an email for the next day. So we're stepping it out for you if that's what it looks like big picture. But for many of us, we need to take small steps to get there because it's just not something we're doing regularly. We know we're supposed to. We know it's one of the key structures, right, of math expressions that we should be doing every single day. So we're going to step it out for you. So we're keeping you accountable so you'll do it. So many of us, and let us know in the chat if you did this challenge last year and you actually did the challenge and you learned something from it. What did you learn? How successful were you? Because I'm hearing from people all the time that were like, I've never done it. I did it during the challenge. And now I'm like, I can't believe I wasn't doing this. Like, it's making a huge difference. Go read those comments from people. They're all over the place. People see it once they start doing it. So you're going to hear a lot of like, but it's not working because of this, and it's not working because of this. Those are just normal classroom issues, right? So we're going to work through them because we know how important it is. So post your questions, your concerns, your hiccups. We're going to help you work through those. So we're putting them into place at the beginning of the year so that we get the payoff all year long, right? If you have questions, post them. I'm happy to chat about it, give you some suggestions, work through it with you. Don't forget, everything I told you is in the challenge workbook. So if you sign up for the challenge, we made a beautiful workbook for you. All of this is included in that. We've given you the tips, the timing, everything. All the workbook tells you in writing and in pictures with links how to do everything you need to do. So, all right, thanks everyone. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.